All right, here we are, another week around the trash fire. Your host, Mathias, along with the boy.
John.
Believe it, John?
So
We're at 99 episodes of this podcast.
dang.
Next week will be the 100th episode.
Ooh.
And I don't know what we're going to do for that.
This just shows it tells me that well, first, awesome podcast. I've had a great time doing this. And also Games Workshop just is a juggernaut of content. Like we've talked for 99 weeks now on something Games Workshop has talked about in the previous week. That's crazy.
It's nice. It's nice to have something to talk about, especially in
Yeah.
a hobby that I like.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy. And I think today is a big win for Warcry. Because there's a lot of Warcry news today.
There's a
Well,
lot of work to do
this
today.
week, I guess. But yeah, it's crazy, and I'm looking forward to it. I don't. I gotta plan something for the 100th. Hopefully, we can get some guests on, but we'll see. Anyways, shall we jump into the news?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, going into our first news topic here. Middle Earth range being rotated out. So looks like Lord of the Rings is also getting the range rotation, just like 40k has been getting this past few months. Which, it's probably for the best. I don't know. I don't know how big the Lord of the Rings community is. I think
I
you would
mean,
know.
big enough that they keep releasing stuff for it. This game is not dead. I mean, it's not getting a lot of content in the vein that 40k is, but I mean, this game's releases rival those of many other war games in terms of even of new stuff in general. So
Well, I mean, I enjoy the game. So, well, I used to. I haven't, like I said, haven't played it since War of the Ring. So, but I did enjoy it. It was just hard to find players. But
yeah, it is hard to find players, even in LA, playing Lord of the Rings, to be honest. But they exist since Games Workshop keeps releasing stuff for it.
it's a popular IP. I mean, um, what's the series called? Power, whatever
Rings of
the
Power, or whatever, the Amazon one.
yeah, whatever the Amazon thing is. I mean that just came out, so I'm sure that's gonna be given more.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes out in August. Of course, I think it's September. Um, Rings of Power, but I don't know. I haven't heard of any product tie-in with GW. So, or if anything, if it's gonna drum up interest in Lord of the Rings, but I mean, it's something.
I mean, it's something new and it's Lord of the Rings related, so that's enough to spark enough interest, even if they don't tie in any of the characters.
Right. I mean, there's characters in that show that have models, so we'll see where that leads.
Oh, I'll take your word on it because I have not seen a single episode. So
It's not out yet. It's out in September.
got it. Yeah, there we go. Another more victims for the range rotation.
Yes, warehouse space is precious.
Let's see. Moving on to our next thing. Got some 30k news. Starting off with the free uh what would you call this? Uh Historical? Is that the right word to say for
Yeah, I
this?
guess historical missions.
Yeah. Are you big into the historical missions? No, right? You just enjoy the game.
In terms of specific missions, no. Just because it to really appreciate these historical missions, you need the armies in it. So, like for this one, right? It's Space Wolves versus. Actually, this one is a famous one. There's a novel with this, which is Space Wolves versus Sons of Horus. Well, we have a Sons of Horus player, but we don't have a Space Wolves player. So it's essentially kind of useless. I guess in terms of the mission, the units are useful for everyone, but in terms of the mission, yeah, can't play it. There was the one with the Blood Angels and the Word Bearers. Well, I'm a Blood Angels player, but we don't have a Word Bearers player, and also that mission sucked anyway. But
Isn't Paulo a word bearers player?
yeah, but I don't know if he has a fully panned army yet. I think he's
Ah,
still working on stuff. Yeah, but um, yeah, you really need the specific sides, and you have to care about the
the lore accuracy.
lore. Yeah, or just is it a battle you're excited for? So, for instance, the Blood Angel Word Bearers one, it's some random battle from like third edition in a background, that's from a background book. So I don't really care for it. So I'm not really that hyped. I mean, my buddy is building a Dark Angel army, which is hyping me to work on my Night Lords that I put a pause on because there's a famous campaign with some novellas, excuse me, between Night Lords and Dark Angels.
Hmm.
So that's more hype. So in a sense, yeah, the historical stuff is exciting to me if it's the quote unquote right one for me. It's something that I'm excited about and it has the sides, it has the sides of my game group could field.
I see. Have you have you done any of these missions? I don't know how new these lore accuracy battles are.
No, I have not. I mean, they're all lore accurate. They all happen. They're deriven from something, whether it's a novel or a novella or a random paragraph from an old codex. So in a sense, these battles actually come from something, which is kind of neat.
Right, I
But in terms,
understand that, but I mean, like, have you actually ever done one of these kind of games or no?
no, because it goes back to, even if you look at the black books, the sides, especially because I played Thousand Suns, so the only real campaign material for Thousand Suns is Prospero with the Space Holds, and we didn't have Space Hold players. And right now, I play Blood Angels, and the only real campaign content we have is against demons, and we don't have demon players. So I think this Night Lords Sons of Horus, sorry, Night Lords Dark Angels thing is the closest we're gonna get to having a actual
Lore
narrative,
narrative battle.
lore, like campaign mission type thing. So
Let's
yeah,
see. Well, in the end, it's just more content for you guys, your 30K players.
yeah, and it's free content, right? It's not like the 40K books where you gotta buy the book for some content. And the units are cool too, if not wildly unbalanced. For example, in this one, the Space Wolves get a cute little support squad with hand flamers and chain swords, which that's decent, right? Meanwhile, Sons of Horus get a 10-man command squad with boarding shields and obsec. Okay, for the same points cost.
Yeah,
So
it
it's
sounds a bit unbalanced.
right, yeah.
I don't know what the shield does, but I assume it works like a thunder shield.
Yeah, it gives you a 5-up invul, and yeah, it gives you a 5-up invul, which is hard to come by in the Heresy for many troops that aren't Terminators. So it's pretty solid deal. Not the biggest of deals. For me, the biggest deal is the fact that they have obsec, because, and I'll get to that later when we talk about a hobby rant. But obsec is really important in Horus Heresy.
Or in any 40K game.
Yeah.
Right then, well, it's not all the Heresy news. Of course, Heresy Thursday. We got our next Legion that we're gonna get helmets for, and that would
Yay.
be the White Scars. And I don't know if it's the paint job, but I kind of like these.
Yeah, they look different in a good way. Because the Emperor's Children one looks like the regular helmet with some stuff on it, but here you can see some actual design changes with the helmet. I believe the vision slits are different. They're more of a single piece almost, rather than the two eyeballs
Mm-hmm.
or two lenses for the regular Mark 6 helmets. And the top knots are big addition, right? So yeah, these are cool. If I played White Scars, I
Did you
would
play White
enjoy.
Scars? Or don't you have a White Scars army that
I
you're
do not.
working on?
I traded them for more Blood Angels. My buddy's like, "Hey, I got this Blood Angel project. Do you want it for your White Scars?" I'm like, "All right." So I got a bunch of Terminators and my jump pack Contemptor Dreadnoughts, and I gave him a crap ton of jet bikes.
Well,
And
okay then.
he was very happy that they were built. So
Oh, rip the John White Scar army.
yes, okay, Blood Angels. But the
God,
White Scar army is being put to good use. So
true. As long as someone's using it.
yep,
But that is it for 30K. And then we get to the Sunday preview, which isn't much.
yeah, it's kind of just Warcry.
It's just the Warcry box, which I am on the fence about buying.
235.
$235? That's a steep price. But I think I can get someone to go half on it.
Yeah, what are you looking for?
I mean, I'll take the terrain, the books, and the Rotmeyer. I do not
Okay.
care for the
The shoot guys.
shoot guys. Yeah, I think they're kind of lame. But everyone else, everything else in the book, I mean the box, I would take.
Okay.
So
It's yeah, I'm on the fence too. It's neat, but
if not half, I like 75-25.
right. Also the what's this called? The combat gauge is pretty neat, to be quite honest.
The Gur whatever
Yeah,
this is combat gauge.
yeah. I will say though, it's kind of lame that this is the only way to get into Warcry New Edition. They're not selling the rulebook separately. They did mention that they're going to come out with a giant compendium with literally every single model that had Warcry rules for the new edition. It's called the Warcry Compendium. It says 800 fighters are getting updated rules. That's a lot of fighters.
That is a lot of fighters.
That's not coming out yet.
I wonder if they're going to do something about cavalry,
Yeah, I
specifically
do wonder.
flying cavalry.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where you just don't take them if you're playing for fun, but it would be nice if the rules address them directly because it's just blatantly, yeah, they're super strong, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how strong they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yep, we're getting that combat gauge, and that's pretty much it. That is all that is up for pre-order this week. So, if you're excited for the Warcry, I mean, let's see. I think what's the box called? Catacombs. That was the
Uh-huh.
last one, right?
Yeah, that was the last one.
I mean, the two armies in that became separate pretty fast. Like
They did,
2 weeks after the box came out.
yeah.
So, I mean, same thing could happen here, but if you want the terrain and the new rules, you can either wait or you can get them right away with this new book.
Right.
But again, that's really you'd only buy this for the rules and for the army. Because I mean, I don't know how competitive Warcry scene is right now, but if you
It
want to,
exists.
if you
It's
want to,
interesting. Oh,
I said if you want to, start tailoring your stuff to it, you might as well
right,
buy it.
right.
Otherwise, wait maybe 2 weeks and they'll release it separately like they did last time.
That would be very nice. I hope so.
No, I don't think they ever released the Catacombs book, did they? Separately?
I don't think so. Well, also Catacombs. The thing with Catacombs is that the game is very dependent on that specific board. So
Right.
getting the board by it or the rules by itself wasn't really, you couldn't really play the game because you needed the terrain and the board. But I can see that. Well, this is the a new edition, and typically they release rule books on their own at some point. So that could be
I'd give it 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Would that be a great time frame?
I would say, yeah, 2 weeks sounds about right. So moving on from there, GW is going to be a Gen Con, the mecca of all board games. What do you think? You think they're gonna reveal anything
Oh yeah,
big?
they always do. So in terms of how big, I don't know. I could imagine. I mean, we can make formal predictions later, but I imagine the not Warcry, the Kill Team Space Hulk thing will be revealed here.
You think they're gonna raise 2 more teams or just one?
They'll reveal both. They'll reveal that box, the
Oh,
space.
the kill team. Oh, I thought they
Yeah, yeah,
revealed
yeah.
the kill team box. No.
No, they just said we have some kind of box with these 6 models or 7 models, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they haven't revealed the whole thing yet.
Well, they are. I guess we don't know. Rumored to be, 2D, right? No, no third dimension added to the
Yeah, that's
game.
what I'm thinking is another 2D board, which that's fine. I think
So
there's merit in 2D.
like arena, right? With the 2D.
Yes,
So
that's what I'm thinking.
I'm thinking we might get some elite units coming into this game.
Like Kill Team Elites.
I think it's gonna happen. Cause how can you have a Space Hulk with no Terminators?
That's true. Space Hulks do need Terminators. Good point. Good point.
Terminators and Gene Stealers. It's gonna happen. I think we're gonna see some elites start creeping in here.
Yeah, I can see that. For
I mean,
better or for worse.
Commandos are elites, if I recall correctly.
That's true. They are an elite slot, and so are Pathfinders are fast attack.
Yeah.
But in terms of, I mean, Custodies are in there, right? There's the Custodies team. So
Is there a official Custody skill team?
yes, I mean it got nerfed to oblivion, but it does exist.
But that's just general, right? There wasn't any like specific
No,
release,
it's
right?
just the guard squad and the
Okay, that's what I thought.
yeah the sisters.
That's what I thought. Okay, so we'll get the full story. We'll see what new rules they're gonna add to it because this is supposed to be a new season. So GW's on that season grind.
Right.
So I guess we'll see. August 4th. That's not next week, right? It is
Right.
next week.
It's next week, next Thursday. So we'll probably see the preview article on the weekends or next week. Like, hey, tune in on Thursday or whatever to see the stuff.
It's not gonna be a live stream. Probably just gonna be It's probably just gonna be articles.
I'm sure. I hope so. Actually, that would be great. That's the best. But we'll see.
Reading through it right now. Yeah. It says we see all cool reveals in person. So I highly doubt there's gonna be a live stream. But I guess we'll find out. We'll find out when we get there. Moving on. Lore Masters. Or sorry, Warhammer Plus. We have Lore Master Imperial Knights. And that's it. I mean, in terms of stuff I care about. They're lacking a bit on the animation side.
Yeah. I wonder what next.
And was I know I asked this like every other month, but Warhammer Plus was what, July of last year or August?
July, so I think it's approaching the year. So I'm surprised they haven't announced the new subscription model yet or miniature.
Yeah, I mean, July is basically over.
Right. So I don't
So,
know.
but that is that. That is that is the Sunday preview. Again, very little. They're probably saving up for whatever they're gonna reveal at Gen Con. Because I'm sure Kill Team will be up for pre-order probably that weekend. Would be my guess.
That'll be great if they just release it soon.
They wouldn't release it. It'll just be up for pre-order. But yeah, there we go. Moving on. To keep in theme with the Warcry, miniature of the month is going to be a Rotmeyer character.
Yeah, how interesting. It's a
Well,
new model.
in this article, they state that they're going to be changing the focus to whatever the popular release of the month is going to be.
Oh, interesting.
So no longer going to get a Skaven during, Eldar release or during a Chaos Space Marine release. Now they said it's just gonna be whatever the most whatever popular releasing in that month is gonna be. So
That's really interesting, actually.
yeah, it makes me wish I had a GW near me so I could go in and
Right.
grab this model.
Gotta go drive pretty far to get a free model.
True. But I was surprised not to see a coin mentioned. Maybe that'll be in a later article.
Maybe, or maybe they're not doing coins anymore, which I'm fine with, to be honest.
I mean, I didn't really care for the coins too much, anyways. But I'm sure someone was out there that really enjoyed the coins.
I'm sure someone was collecting.
Yeah. And again, to continue more into Warcry, Bel'akor, Chosen are getting a Warcry team.
Yeah, Chosen and Bel'akor. Or Bel'akor's. I think they're just called Bel'akor's Chosen.
Yep.
They look really generically cool.
Generically cool.
Yeah. Like if you told me this was just another Slave to Darkness warband, I'd be like, oh, cool. I mean, it's interesting how they have kind of human-y beastmen. Like there's that guy who has beastman hooves, but he clearly isn't a full beastman yet. And some of them just look like regular people. So I mean, it's neat. It's not like I don't know. Do I want this? It's a lot of trim to paint. Maybe not. Actually, that's not a lot of trim to paint. Actually, take it back. But I mean, for me, I think I've been trying to control myself with Warcry. I think I'm really gonna wait until I get a proper generic human team for my generic humanist skirmish.
We keep saying there's gonna be a human team. We haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah, or just like a human release or rules for those Underworlds guys. When those Underworlds guys come out, I'm definitely picking them up. That those are cool models.
I think what you said to describe these guys is accurate. Generically cool.
Yeah, because they're not doing anything new. It's just more of the same with Chaos. But hey, they look cool. I really like the leader. Actually, that's a really cool design.
Yeah, I actually really like these models. Am I picking it up? I might consider it. It's kind of what I like about Warcry is, I don't have to invest into it a lot.
Yeah, right. You can just get this warband, and you're kind of
And then you're set.
right. You're set.
Especially as a casual newbie like me, I'm not here playing competitively, so.
I mean, I will say though, with Warcry, I really wish they would just have more variety in terms of weapons that they give the units, especially compared to stuff like the Rotmeyer and the Hashit guys. Like these guys, there's, I mean, most Chaos Warcry bar bands, there's hand weapon and shield, you know, dual hand or two-handed weapon, maybe two one-handed weapons, and then that's kind of it. Like if you look at these guys, there's a guy with there's some guys with two-handed weapons or a spear. There's guys, sorry, not a guy. There's guys with a hand weapon and a shield, and then the leader has a hand weapon and a shield. It's like okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's really not much you can do with
I think we do
fantasy
like a
setting.
flail or maybe like a cross or like a bow or something or a wizard. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just asking for too much.
Well, I mean, you look at the original Chaos warbands, right? You got like those snake guys. I don't know. I never
I mean,
played any of them, so I don't really know how many what they really did. But
or look at the snake guys. Like the snake guys had a guy with a snake for a weapon. That's kind of unique. You know,
right.
maybe it just goes to like this warband is generic and that's why. But yeah,
Well, I mean, that's the. I mean, Chaos is just like the generic warband to go on to because there's a lot of gods. So there's a lot of. I mean, I say a lot of gods, but there's a lot of interesting designs you can do for each god where they worship, right?
right.
Obviously, this is Bel'akor's uh, crew he's running around with, so they're more designed around him. But I'm sure, but that's why they're more chaos is more easy to do, and they're all human, so it's not like not much stat changes you need to do
Right.
compared to if you like put elves and dwarves in there because you're so limited on what you can do, right? Dwarves, you got balloon dwarves and you got fire slayers. Like fire slayers don't have that many options. The balloon dwarves are not as good, but I think definitely more versatile than fire slayers.
Hmm.
Elves, I mean, we got the Canaanite stalkers, is what they're called.
Yeah, those guys are cool.
Those are cool. They shoot magic. They shoot little hand crossbows. And I mean, there's a lot of elf factions to choose from, but I don't. They're only sticking with one right now.
Yep. And I am kind of itching to get a Warcry specific warband, but I don't know. I already have two fully painted. I'm just kind of done playing with them in a sense.
Which specific Warcry band do you want?
I don't know. The Dark Hole Savagers are pretty cool. I mean, even the K Knights are kind of nice actually. At least they're unique. Also, I could add in the those the Underworlds warband.
Is Underworlds being put into Warband or Warcry?
Or just there's alt as alternate sculpts.
Oh, it's alternate school. Yeah, I thought there was something where they were gonna be playable in
I
Warcry.
think there was a white dwarf where they gave them rules, but I don't know if that's gonna shift with the new edition. So I mean, I have a fully painted vampire warband ready to go, but we'll see.
Yeah, I can't say that, but I'll work on it. But yeah.
Nether phase. There we go. Anyways,
Anyways, moving on to other Warcry news because we're not done with Warcry. They
no.
leaked out some. I'm sure if you've been following Warcry, you know all this already. But as John said earlier, they are adding reactions to the game. So we get our first look at a counter, being able to make rolls before they get hit. So I think we're gonna have a more interesting game coming over into Warcry. Or it could be more complicated. Either way, we'll have to wait and see how these new rules affect the whole system.
Right.
What are your reactions um, to this news?
I mean, I nice pun. I like reactions. I mean, I like them in Heresy. I think they're a good way. It's interesting though, because Warcry is already a alternate activating game, so this is just. But then again, there's some games out there like Infinity that are already alternate activations that have a reaction mechanic. So I mean, it's nice. It promotes even more interactive gameplay as the opponent. That you could actually even do something as the opponent's reacting. So it's cool. I like it.
Well, yeah. As someone who doesn't play too many games with reactions in them, I'm happy to see. I'm looking forward to see what's gonna happen. Again, my big problem with Warcry is just the cavalry, specifically flying cavalry, but we'll see. We'll see if they address that in the next compendium. And I'll have to wait and see what other reactions there will be. Again, they only teased one reaction to us. But that is all our Warcry news. Big stuff coming. And I expect there probably to be a lot more news as we get closer and closer to the 2-player box set dropping.
Yes.
So moving on to New Model Monday. We got 2 new models, actually. One is a Blood Bowl model. We're still going into the Amazon theme here. And we got some lady with all these frogs.
I mean, it's kind of funny and it's unique, but it's Blood Bowl, so. And it's probably resin.
Yeah. I like the model. Maybe because it's all the frogs, but I do enjoy the model. And kind of want to have that big frog on the shoulder. I don't know what model I'd put it on, but I would like to have that model.
I mean, I hope it's a separate piece and not sculpted on there.
Come on, it's GW. You know it's sculpted on there. They're going for more easy build.
Oh gosh.
But yeah, that is Blood Bowl. Not much thoughts on it, because again, we don't play this game, so, and I actively despise it. But the model is cool. I do like the model.
Mm-hmm.
But moving on to Necromunda. Clan Escher, right?
Escher.
Escher is getting 2 new characters.
So this is interesting because these are oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I'll say these are the first faction specific hangers on, which are kind of like you add them to the meta game, which is your your base, your gang fort, but you don't actually use them in your gang unless that specific territory is attacked. But I am wondering how these are gonna factor in the game if you could bring them on or something. So new feature at the end of the day for these guys, which is cool.
Yeah, and of course their design I like. It's just weird to see all these tendrils coming out of the head.
It's a lot of content too for Necromunda. Even already a content heavy game, and here's even more stuff.
Well, I mean, what I like about this, I mean, compared to the Necromunda models that we saw last week, like these, I mean, we haven't got to the second model yet, but these models look so much better. Last week, I don't know what happened to the Necromunda models, but they were ugly looking, very uninspiring. These ones, I like. But yeah, this is the first one. This one's the Doctor, if I recall. And then the second one, we got the Alchemist, who will be poisoning your weapons, mixing toxins. And again, another gorgeous model. I like this model. I like how it looks. I like all the little gadgets it has. The little poison it's putting on the blade. It is a great model. If I had played Clan Escher, I would definitely pick these up.
Definitely quite cool.
So, good job, GW, for improving over last week's disasters, because I don't know what happened with those models last week, but those were not it, Chief. But that is it. That is all the GW news. And I see here you posted something. Posted more Star Wars for our news.
Minor Star Wars Legion news from Comic-Con. we have a Republic release. It looks like a new Republic commander, Commander Cody, and some upgrades for the clone trooper units, which is good. It's a Republic release. Thank goodness. Republic got something. And this guy, he looks pretty not too expensive, 125 points or 105 points with no upgrades, and he has a pretty solid long range gun with some good rules. Yeah, this is neat. I like this. This is kind of making me excited for Republic. So
Weird that they did it at the Comic Con.
yeah, how it was a random Comic Con announcement. Which sure, I mean, all right.
Was this like the only Star Wars Legion?
Yes, the only Star Wars Legion used from Comic Con.
What about I know last time we talked about them, but is the ship game?
Oh,
Uh,
Armada.
no, not Armada.
X-Wing?
X-wing. Is that still on hiatus in terms of making new models and stuff?
No, they're actually they did announce a bunch of new stuff for X-Wing. No models shown yet, but they did announce a bunch of new starter sets for X-Wing. Especially now that the game has objectives, I have kept saying that this game needs official objective tokens that you could just buy. So that's kind of nice. I would want to pick those up in the event that I ever play X-Wing again. But yeah,
Oh, hey, that's good. But they were the ones, right? Or was that Armada that said they weren't releasing any new models?
Armada is the one that they have nothing coming for a year. It's almost a year, so
Yeah. All right then. Yeah, I wanted to make sure. Didn't want to get them too confused. There we go. More news for Star Wars Legion. And I
yeah,
think that's it. I mean, do you have any
yeah.
other miniature news you want to talk about?
Major apparently this is from the company though. Well, so it's probably true. Super major announcement coming for Warmachine tomorrow, so I'll be watching that. Rumors pointing out with Mark the new edition for Warmachine, and they have confirmed new Signar and new Kador models and the Infernals that we've seen before. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
interesting.
are they finally going to move away from resin plastic combo
Oh,
models?
that's the big if, right? Is how are they gonna? Is it gonna be plastic? Now, having worked on War Machine models, I actually prefer the resin than their old plastic because their old plastic is pretty garbage.
Oh,
I had some of their I built some of their sprue models and those were nice. That's the ideal, but if it's their current resin, I actually don't mind because their current resin is pretty good. Very minimal assembly. The pieces just fit. And but either way, I would not want any sort of metal at all. They move away from metal. Metal sucks. So
is it like cheaper?
the
I would
resin,
assume
no,
it'd be more expensive, right? The metal
the resin
pins.
actually has been more expensive. Yeah, so I'm hoping that they find a way to make it cheaper to produce or something because yeah,
I know that would be nice, but okay.
we'll
So
see.
fourth edition War Machine coming around.
Yeah, that's the rumor. Fourth edition.
All right. Well, I want to know a little bit more about this. What are the rumors of or changes that are happening? Do you know any or no?
Non-existent. All the only rumor is new edition coming, and that's just the rumor. The only thing confirmed is something they're gonna have a stream tomorrow that's gonna have really really big news, and they've been hyping it up on their social media. So we'll see where that goes.
Let's see. When did third edition came? 2016?
26, 2017.
2017. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because that's when I left the hobby store.
Actually, no, 2016. 2016, sorry. Then yeah, 2017 was 40K eighth, which was I remember was the year after Mark 3. So
Because I remember playing it. I remember playing a couple games of uh third edition, but it was all blur. Cause I played so little of it that I really don't remember anything. But let's get into the hobby random section, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
In terms of hobbying, I'll start. I didn't do anything. I kind of slacked off, but I do have a plan, and that is to paint up some Warcry models.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm thinking. I'm blanking on the name right now.
Describe them.
The who?
Describe them. Describe them.
I think they're called the Flames
Oh, the
Scions.
Hands of the Flame. Yep, yep, yep.
I'm gonna paint them up.
Okay, those guys are super cool.
Yep. They're pretty good for a generic Warcry army.
Ah, yeah.
So I think I'm gonna paint those up probably tomorrow, and I'll post the results on how they're coming along.
Okay.
But gaming wise, didn't play. I was way too tired from work, so I was like, I think I'm gonna skip game night. So I didn't do any tabletop gaming, but this week we're definitely gonna be playing some Warcry or some Kill Team or Starwars Legion. It all depends on who shows up.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's my plan in terms of hobbying. What about
Nice.
you?
I actually didn't have any much hobby done. Well, actually, that's a lie. Painting. I didn't have a lot of painting done. I needed to get some paint, so I got some on Sunday after my game. But I'm working on some mechanic right now. And on the weekend, I built some land speeders, some resin land speeders. And it's funny because these are land speeders where the land speeder itself was already built, but I was building the riders and kind of converting some of their weapons because I was switching them from cyclone missiles to last cannons. And yeah, that took a while because resin is resin. So there's that for hobby. Played a 30K game on Sunday, 3,000 point fully painted Horus Heresy game. It was my Blood Angels versus my buddies Alpha Legion, and it was fun and it was bloody. At the end of the game, final turn, I had two dreadnoughts, one Terminator, and like three or four jump pack destroyers left. And my buddy had three Alpha Legion snipers and an HQ sniper left. And I edged out the win. And earlier I was mentioning OBSEC is important in 30K because I think I mentioned before on the podcast, in 30K, OBSEC just doesn't let you win objectives. You need OBSEC to even hold objectives. So if you don't have OBSEC, you can't even hold anything. And the mission, but typically if missions have objective tokens, you can deny them with denial units, which is pretty much everything that is in an OBSEC unit. So like while Terminators, for example, can't hold objectives, they can contest, right?
Right.
However, the mission be played used objective like table quarters or table zones, and in that mission, you need you could only hold objectives and deny them with OBSEC units called line units of 30K. So I was happy that I had 4 line units that game, 5 line units that game, because I had my 2 tac squads, I had an assault squad, I had the command squad with the banner that gives it line, and then I had the my Terminator squad that was made line because of my formation. So that really helped. But the mission did make tanks obsec, so my buddy had a tank in his deployments and that I needed to kill to hold it. Yeah, but it was interesting. Like the final turn, I just threw the final 2 turns. I threw everything at killing 2 tac squads in a tank. So I had dreadnoughts. I had these assault marines, terminators, just trying to jump in and kill his tac marines, just
Dang.
so I could score that objective.
Yeah, the Hail Mary.
Yep.
I remember doing that a lot in seventh edition.
Yeah.
I can't
Because
remember if seventh edition was just OPSEC that can score or not. I think
I think
that's
it had OBSEC, but for 30K, it's yeah, you need OBSEC to score. Period.
yeah. I think in 40K it was just. I think it was just if you had one model
Mm-hmm.
on the objective, you had it, and then if another model was there, it was contested.
I see. I
It
see.
didn't matter like it did in ninth edition where if one model's touching it and it's object, you automatically have it. But if none of them were object, it just mattered how many models you had on it to control it. And I think in 7th edition, it was just like, if someone's toes on the objective, it's contested. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
Right.
matter what they are. Of course, it's been a long time since I played 7th, so I could be getting it wrong.
But yeah, so that was that brutal game. It was fun though. I mean, 30K is always a fun time.
That's the name of the game. Just have fun.
Let's have fun.
Especially when you're just playing with friends.
Right, right.
No need to go hardcore mode. That's cool. Just trying to think. Not much else I can talk about, you know? I think next week will definitely be juicy.
Oh yeah, especially with the Warmachine news tomorrow. That's going to be interesting.
Got that. We got I gotta look up the calendar again. I guess we're gonna be a few days earlier before Gen Con, so we're gonna miss out on all that juicy news.
Yeah, it's okay. It's coming. It's coming.
But yeah, I've got nothing else. I got anything else you want to talk about?
No, that's it.
All right then, and then I think we can end it there. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end. Again, you just like, comment, get the word out there to help us grow. That'd be great. And we'll see you next time.
Let everyone.